Hey folks, Jimmy here, aka Palette of the Dead. Welcome back to the channel and welcome to the latest issue of Warhammer 40k Imperium magazine. Now, as per usual with all these videos, if you like them, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course drop us a comment down below. I love hearing back from you guys, it goes a massive way to helping the channel too. Now, this week we are on issue 81 of Imperium magazine, so we are into the extended section of the run of Imperium magazine. So if you have missed it, the extended run comprises going all the way up to issue 90 instead of finishing at issue 80 like it was supposed to, and we have some cool new minis as well. Issue 81, 82 and 83 are all the same mini. They are pretty cool. They are the trio of Adeptus Sororitas Paragon warsuits. They look cool. They have some cool weaponry, and they have some alternate build options. So you do have 3 different core weapons to choose from, 2 different melee weapons to choose from, and 3 different heads on the first sprue alone. So entirely up to you how you want to go about doing it. If you are buying multiple, you could always have, so for instance, if you're like me and you're getting 6 of these issues, you could go 3 with a sword, 3 with a mace, 2 with heavy bolters, 2 with multi-melters, and so on, and choose and change the heads around. Entirely up to you though, but they look cool, they're pretty damn ace, and yeah, I genuinely like them. Really good bits of kit, so I'm happy with this kit. Should be good fun. Now into the issue we go. We're of course greeted by the battle sheet for the Paragon warsuits. So if you're unaware, the Paragon warsuits are piloted by elite battle sisters known as Celestians. Each suit is a treasured relic armed with finely crafted weapons and capable of wreaking terrible devastation upon the foe. A trio of Paragon warsuits is more than a match for even the deadliest foe. So with this, the Paragon warsuits war gear can include grenade launchers just above the headpiece there, or you could have storm bolters if you choose. So if you are having 6, you could have 3 of each, which isn't a bad idea really. They can also carry the Warblade, as I say, or you can have that War Mace. Both are really cool looking weapons, so entirely up to you which you go for. Then you get your Heavy Bolter, your Ministorum Heavy Flamer, or your Multi-Melter as your main ranged weapon. Choose wisely, or have each. Entirely up to you though. Really good, and some pretty cool weapons. I genuinely like the look of the warsuits. They look pretty damn cool, and I'm glad to have a few of them. So really good stuff. On the other page, as per usual, as it's a battle record, you can give it your squad name, you can give them a strategy, you can give them names for each individual warsuit and their pilot. You can track their miracles and records of battles and everything like that. Entirely up to you if you utilize this, but it is worth it. They're pretty cool, and yeah, it's not too bad. If you are using multiple of your Paragon warsuits, it may be worth having multiple sheets so you can keep track of each individual one. Entirely up to you though, but otherwise they look really good. Then we move on, we get a new story from the 41st millennium, the Crystal Heart, all based on the Slaaneshi side of things and their acolytes. A pretty lengthy story as well. I've had a quick read through some of it, and it is pretty cool. It's not too bad at finding out new information about certain acolytes, the Emperor's Children, Noise Marines as well, and yeah, really good stuff to have a bit of an explore into them. So pretty cool and not too bad. Then we move on. We have our Paragon Warsuit build guide. Now, obviously, there are quite a few small components to the Paragon warsuit, so take care when clipping these off, because 1, some of them are very delicate, 2, some of them are pretty tiny. If you ping them off, they may go flying and become a real nightmare to try and find again, so do take care with them. Otherwise though, you do have different build options, so obviously make sure that you trim everything down appropriately, make sure everything fits, and make sure that you kind of keep it going right. There are a lot of bits and pieces, a lot of stages to follow. I'll show off my built one at the end of this video, because I'm going to build it in a minute, and yeah, it'll look really good. Obviously there are variants as well, so you can change different head, entirely up to you how you want to go about doing it. Personally as well, with this, I would not paint the head on the warsuit. Paint it separately. If you paint it on the warsuit and you're going for a natural looking head without the helmet and everything like that, it's going to be a nightmare. It's going to be a pain in the backside. This is where, if you have alternative good old sisters, you can utilize the heads from those maybe, but otherwise pretty cool stuff. Now I'm going to build mine without the head on there, although it is you are told to put it on there straight away. I'm going to risk it. I probably will regret it, but you can do that if you wish to. But otherwise, really cool stuff. Otherwise, you can just paint up all the different sections on your own and do it in sub-assemblies before you kind of fully put it all together. But otherwise, really good stuff. Then you've got your paint section. The paint section is actually pretty good if you were following the same paint scheme that you did for the other sisters. So from the order of the Briar Rose, is it? I don't know. I can't remember which order it is. But if you're painting up a different order, obviously paint it how you wish to. You can make them look really cool. So with the black panels, they look fantastic. Other colours may have varying degrees of how good they look. Now, the Adeptus Sororitas I'm going for do not have these black panels. So I will be, yeah, having a bit of fun with this one. But really good stuff. So pretty damn cool. Obviously, a lot of little parts to it as well, so a lot of intricate little areas. Painting up things like the head is going to be a bit of a pain in the backside, inside of that bit. Getting the right amount of details without knackering it up. I'm not going to lie, I do not like the chances of doing it. It looks better if you paint it separately and then pop it in. So it may be worth painting up in subsections. So, just saying. Then we move on to the other bits and pieces. So you're getting all your different little tiny pieces of your painting done, and by the end of it you will have one really cool looking Adeptus Sororitas mini. Genuinely looks nice. It looks really good. Even going with that paint scheme can look absolutely fantastic. Obviously different paint schemes will vary, so have a bit of fun. Then we can move on. We've got obviously our data sheet for the Adeptus Sororitas Paragon Warsuit. They look cool. They look really good. And yeah, you've got all your tutorials how to utilise different bits and pieces. Obviously a lot of different rules depending on which weapons you're utilising for them. Definitely make sure you keep hold of it. Definitely make sure you utilise it because you are going to need it. Moving on though, we get into our new campaign. So obviously we're going to get new missions throughout these last 10 issues. There's a lot of little bits to it. So this is the asteroid belt. This is page 2 of our new campaign. We have our campaign page 1 as a separate pull out. Now this is a fold out section, so this gives us our campaign rules and our balance of power, and it also is all to do with the Ramesses campaign. Pretty cool stuff. We have our mission pack, we have our campaign rewards, and much more in that fold out section. Not too bad, not too shabby. Moving on though, we obviously get our newest battle, should I say. So this is a 50 power battle, so it's going to be a bit of a tough one. Utilising your two of your battle mats, so a smaller scale battle than what we've previously been doing with, for instance with like issue 80. So this is going a little bit smaller as it is going into a new campaign. We also have a campaign marker if you wish to use it. You can utilise different things as markers, entirely up to you how you want to go about doing it, but it's how you can kind of push forward, so not too bad. And how to utilise your marker as well. So using that campaign sheet at the very beginning, you've got your stalemate in the middle, and then depending on how the dominance of your forces are going, depends on how many battles you're winning. So pretty cool stuff. And then finally, obviously issues 82 and 83 coming up soon. They have our Paragon Warsuit number 2 and number 3. Really good stuff. Some pretty good bits and pieces. We find out more information about craft worlds and the Eldari, and more about the Eldari across the two. pretty cool. It's not too bad. I'm genuinely looking forward to these last 10 issues. They're going to be really good stuff. Obviously, as I say, if these last 10 go really well, I'm sure they will do something similar with Stormbringer, depending on how well that's doing overall. I think it's done all right. And from what I can tell, there's been a lot of interest in there. I think mainly because you get Gargant and Stormdrakes more than anything. But really cool stuff. Now, the future for good old Warhammer magazines is always up in the air. I believe that there will be a new Warhammer 40k magazine in the future. I don't think it's going to be until towards the very back end of Stormbringer magazine. So we might have that to look forward to as well, depending on what the new edition of 40k comprises of. Will depend on our minis, but obviously it'll be more Space Marines. We will get some pretty cool stuff, some not so cool stuff, and some goofy stuff probably as well, and loads more paints. So definitely worth keeping an eye out for those and any announcements. Obviously, as soon as anything gets announced though, I will share it with you guys, and we'll go through it and we'll have a look and see if it's going to be worth the money. But otherwise, thank you very, very much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye now.